Why do we always want what we can't have? Why does absence hit harder than presence? And why is it that the moment you stop chasing, they start looking back? This is the brutal lesson most men learn too late. The person who takes you for granted never realizes your value until you're gone, until your presence is no longer guaranteed, until the man she once ignored transforms into the man she can never have again. You see, heartbreak isn't the real pain. The real pain is realizing that your emotions were a weapon, one that she never had to lift a finger to use against you. Every message you sent, every attempt to make her understand, every late-night thought about what you did wrong, it was never about you. It was about power, and she had it because you gave it to her. So what happens when you stop giving, when you stop trying to explain yourself, when you stop making it easy for her to read you? That's when the shift happens. Most men don't realize this. The moment you stop reacting is the moment you become the one in control. She expected you to break. She expected you to wait. She expected you to always be an option, even if she never planned on choosing you, because that's what always happens, until one day it doesn't. You've seen it before. The moment you move on, the moment you start thriving without her, the moment she realizes you no longer need her validation, that's when she starts watching. That's when the regret creeps in. That's when she starts asking the question she never thought she'd ask. Did I make a mistake? But by then, it's too late, because the man she left behind, he doesn't exist anymore. The man who begged for her time, who waited for her to care, who kept the door open just in case she changed her mind. He's gone. And what does that leave her with? A ghost, a memory, a man who no longer cares. And that's the moment she truly loses you. So ask yourself, do you want to be haunted by the past, or do you want to be the one who haunts her memory? Because when a man stops reacting, stops explaining, stops justifying, he becomes a mystery. And nothing is more powerful than a man who is no longer accessible. If you're ready to become untouchable, if you're ready to leave behind the man who was broken, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am the storm, not the aftermath. Now let's begin. Number 1. The moment she took you for granted, there was a shift, so subtle you didn't see it coming, but you felt it. Maybe it was the way she stopped replying as fast. Maybe it was how she used to look at you with admiration. But now there was something else in her eyes. Indifference. You knew she was slipping away, but you told yourself it was just a phase. Nope. That was the moment she realized she had you completely. You see, attraction thrives on uncertainty, on challenge, on the thrill of not knowing. But the second she knew you were all in, the moment she realized you were no longer a mystery, that's when she stopped valuing you. Women don't lose interest in good men. They lose interest in predictable men, the ones who worship them, the ones who make them the center of their world, the ones who are always available. Why? Because people don't appreciate what they don't have to work for. Think about it. When was the last time she truly chased you? When was the last time she felt like she had something to lose? The truth is, she never had to. You gave her all the security of a relationship without making her earn it. And what happens when something is given too freely? It's taken for granted. She started treating you like an option because you let her. She knew you'd always be there, always forgive, always wait. And the second she sensed that, the second she knew you'd never walk away, you became safe. And in her world, safe means boring. But let me ask you this. When has a man ever become legendary by being safe? The answer is never. Now here's where most men fail. They notice the shift. They feel her pulling away. And what do? They panic. They chase harder. They double text. They try to remind her of how much they care. They try to prove their worth. And every time you do that, you lose more of her respect. Because respect is not given through words. It's commanded through action. A man who respects himself will never beg for someone to see his value. So what's the move? Simple. Let her feel your absence, not as a game, not as manipulation, but as a standard. If she wants distance, give her more than she expected. If she stops prioritizing you, remove yourself completely, not to punish her, but to show her what life looks like without you in it. And when a man truly walks away, when he stops chasing, stops pleading, stops proving, that's when she feels it. That's when the realization hits. She had something rare, and she let it slip away. If you're done being an option, if you're ready to reclaim your power, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am the prize, not the pursuit. Number 2, disappearing without a sound. The power of vanishing in silence. It's louder than words, more haunting than a farewell. And when used correctly, it's the most powerful response you'll ever give. Most men make the mistake of thinking closure comes from a final conversation, a last message, a desperate attempt to be understood. Nope. That's not a closure. That's an invitation for her to reject you again. You see, when a woman pulls away, she's expecting one of two things. Either you'll chase, proving you're still under her spell, or you'll lash out, proving she got under your skin. And either way, she wins, because both reactions show one thing: you still care. But what she doesn't expect, what she's not prepared for, is you vanishing without a sound. No explanation, no argument, no last words, just gone. Here's the psychology behind it. When you beg for her to stay, she knows she still has power over you. When you argue, she knows she still controls your emotions. But when you go silent, when you remove yourself so completely that she's left questioning if she ever even mattered to you, that's when the real panic sets in. Silence creates an emotional vacuum. The human brain hates unfinished stories. It craves resolution. So when you disappear, when you give her nothing to react to, she starts filling in the blanks, and guess what? The version of you in her head becomes more interesting than the one she walked away from. She starts wondering, did he ever really care? Did I misjudge him? Is he already moving on? And before she knows it, she's doing exactly what she thought she never would. Thinking about you when she should be forgetting you. Understand this. A man who disappears on his own terms is not weak. He's untouchable. He's the man she can't explain, the one who didn't need closure, the one who had the strength to walk away first. And what happens when you walk away first? You control the story. She might not show it, but she'll feel it. Days will pass, then weeks, then months, and one day she'll check her phone, scroll through old messages, and realize you never came back. You never gave her a chance to explain, to justify, to rewrite the ending. And that's when the regret starts to creep in. If you're done explaining yourself, if you're done chasing ghosts, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence speaks louder than words. Number 3, the art of emotional control. When she can no longer read you. Imagine this: she sees you again. Maybe she runs into you unexpectedly. Maybe she stalks your social media. Or maybe she hears about you through mutual friends. And in that moment, she's looking for something. A reaction, some sign that you're still affected, some proof that she still holds space in your mind. But what does she find? Nothing. Indifference. A man who doesn't flinch. You see, emotional control is the deadliest weapon in your arsenal. Most men lose the battle, not because they weren't good enough, but because they couldn't control themselves. They let their emotions drive them into desperate decisions. Texting at 2 a.m., stalking her socials, drowning in the what-ifs. They make it obvious. They make it easy for her to see that she still matters. And that's where they fail, because the second she knows she still owns your emotions, she's free. Free to move on, free to forget, free to take her time knowing you'll always be an option. But when a man masters neutrality, when he stops reacting, stops seeking, stops caring, everything shifts. Here's why. People expect 2 responses after a breakup. Either you chase, proving you're desperate, or you act out, proving you're bitter. Both are emotional, both are weak. But the man who gives nothing, the man who is unreadable, becomes the one thing she didn't expect. A mystery. She doesn't know what you're thinking. She doesn't know if you've moved on or if you ever even cared to begin with. And that uncertainty, it's torture. Emotional control isn't about pretending. It's about mastering yourself to the point where nothing shakes you. It's about understanding that every reaction is a transaction. If she gets a reaction, she profits. But if she gets silence, if she gets neutrality, if she looks at you and sees a man she can't figure out, she's the one who suffers. Because now she has questions, and questions lead to curiosity. And curiosity, that's what keeps people hooked. So the next time she looks at you, make sure she sees a man who is unmoved. No anger, no pain, no signs of loss. Just a man who kept walking, with or without her. And that's when she starts to wonder. That's when she realizes she lost something. Not you. If you're done being predictable, if you're ready to control your emotions instead of letting them control you, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence is my strength. Number 4, self-transformation. Building a man she can't have again. What happens when a man disappears, when he stops reacting, when he walks away without a second glance? Most women expect him to wait, to break, to drown in memories of what could have been. Nope. That's what weak men do, and a weak man she forgets. But a man who evolves, a man who becomes something greater after she's gone, that's the man she never gets over. Because here's the truth. She never actually lost you. She lost the version of you that was too invested, too available, too willing to give without demanding. But the man you're about to become, the one who turns pain into power, the one who reinvents himself without looking back, she'll never even get the chance to meet him. And that's what will haunt her most. Men make the mistake of thinking revenge means making her jealous, that if she sees you with someone new, or if you post the right picture, she'll suddenly regret everything. That's surface-level thinking. The real revenge is making her irrelevant. When she checks in months later and sees that you've built yourself into a man so focused, so disciplined, so untouchable, that she doesn't even register in your mind anymore. That's when it hits her. That's when the regret starts creeping in. Because now she's not just looking at her past, she's looking at her mistake. Transformation isn't just about the gym. It's not just about money. It's not just about leveling up your looks or lifestyle. It's about becoming a man so unshakable that the thought of proving anything to her doesn't even cross your mind. Because true power isn't showing her what she lost. It's not caring whether she sees it or not. And when a man truly moves like that, when his focus shifts from seeking validation to building an empire, that's when he becomes the man she wished she had never let go. So ask yourself, are you going to be the guy she forgets, or the ghost that haunts her for years? Because the moment you commit to becoming the best version of yourself, the moment you stop chasing, stop waiting, stop looking back, that's the moment she loses you forever. If you're done being the man she forgot, if you're ready to become the man she'll regret losing, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I evolve. I don't wait. Number 5. The scarcity effect. Why she'll chase what she can't reach. Human nature is simple. We don't value what's easy. We crave what's just out of reach. And the moment something becomes scarce, it becomes valuable. Now think about this. When she had you, you were always there, always available, always one message away. And because of that, she never had to question your presence. She never had to earn you. But what happens when that changes? What happens when the man she thought would always be there isn't? That's when the scarcity effect kicks in. The moment she realizes she can't just reach out and get the same man back, the same comfort, the same attention, the same access, that's when she starts to want it again. And that's the biggest mistake most men make after a breakup. They try to force this realization too soon. They disappear for a few days, then cave. They go no contact for a couple of weeks, then slip up. They think that if they just show her a little of their absence, she'll come running back. Nope, that's not how it works. Scarcity only creates value when it's real. When a woman knows deep down that she genuinely lost access to you. Not for a game, not for manipulation, but because you elevated past her reach. This is where discipline comes in. You have to commit to being unreachable. You have to commit to becoming someone she could want again, but will never get again. Because the moment she senses that she can still have you, if she just tries a little harder, she stops trying. Understand this. A woman only chases when she feels a real loss, and she only feels loss when she knows, without a doubt, that you are no longer within her grasp. So stop waiting for her to notice. Stop waiting for the text, the like, the random check-in. Because if you're doing it right, she will. And when she does, the only thing she should find is a man who has already moved beyond her. Because that's when it truly hits her. She didn't just lose you. She lost the opportunity to ever have you again. If you're done being easy to reach, if you're ready to make your absence felt, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am the one who got away. Number 6. The unexpected return. When she comes back, but it's too late. It always happens. Always. At first, she's fine. She convinces herself she made the right choice. She goes out, distracts herself, maybe even entertains someone new. And for a while, she doesn't feel the loss. She tells herself you are just another chapter, a passing phase. But then, silence. No desperate texts, no late-night I miss you messages, no signs of you lurking on her social media. Just nothing. And that's when it starts creeping in, that knowing feeling that she may have underestimated you, that maybe, just maybe, she lost something she can't replace. So what does she do? She tests the waters. Maybe she likes an old post. Maybe she randomly reaches out with a meaningless, "Hey, how you been?" Maybe she brings up an inside joke from months ago, pretending it's innocent. But don't be fooled. These aren't casual gestures. These are feelers. Probes to see if you still care, if you're still reachable, if she still has access to you. And this is the defining moment. Because most men break here. They take the bait. They see the notification and their heart races. They overanalyze every word, every emoji, every subtle hint that maybe she's realizing her mistake. And what do? They respond. Nope. That's where they fail. Because the truth is, she's not reaching out because she wants you back. She's reaching out because she wants to know if she could have you back. And the second she realizes she still can, that you're still there, still waiting, still hoping, the chase is over before it even begins. But when a man stays silent, when he doesn't react, doesn't engage, doesn't even acknowledge her attempt, that's when the regret fully sinks in. Because now the story isn't in her control anymore. Now she's forced to ask herself, did I actually lose him? Did I misjudge his worth? And that doubt, that's what will keep her thinking about you long after you've forgotten about her. This is the power of being the one who got away. When she realizes she doesn't get a second chance, not because you're angry, not because you're playing games, but because you've outgrown her. And when she finally understands that, that's when it's too late. If you're done giving second chances to people who never deserved them, if you're ready to let her feel what true loss feels like, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I do not return to the past. Number 7, her breaking point. When she realizes you've moved on. There's a moment every woman dreads, the moment she realizes she's been replaced. Not by another woman, not by temporary distractions, but by your new life. At first she was confident. She thought you'd wait. She thought she could move at her own pace, explore her options, maybe even come back if things didn't work out the way she planned. But now she sees the truth. You didn't just survive without her. You thrived. And that's when the regret starts to creep in. Not because she suddenly sees your worth, but because she sees what she lost. The man who once made her a priority is now too busy building his empire. The man who used to check in, now he's nowhere to be found. The man who was always within reach, now he's untouchable. She starts questioning everything. Was I wrong? Did I misjudge him? Did I let go of something I'll never ever find again? And the worst part, she has no way of knowing because you're no longer giving her access to your mind, your emotions, or your life. She'll try to play it cool, but it will eat at her. Every post she sees, every rumor she hears, every moment she realizes that you truly do not care anymore. It will cut deeper than she ever expected, because losing you wasn't supposed to feel like this. Most men want this moment so badly that they sabotage themselves. They try to manufacture it. They post things hoping she'll see. They fake happiness just to get a reaction. Nope. That's not real power. Real power is when you genuinely don't care whether she sees it or not. Real power is when your life is moving forward so fast that the thought of her is just a passing memory. And when she finally realizes that, when she understands that she's not just missing the old you, but that she can never have the new you, that's when she breaks, because regret is worse than rejection, and knowing she lost something she can never get back, that will haunt her forever. If you're done living in the past, if you're ready to step into the future without looking back, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I have moved beyond her reach. Number 8. The lesson she'll never forget. The man who never looked back. There's a difference between a man who wants to move on and a man who has moved on. Most men get stuck in the middle. They tell themselves they're over her, but deep down, they're still hoping for a moment, a text, a sign, a second chance. Nope, that's not real closure. That's not real power. A man who truly moves on doesn't need validation. He doesn't need proof that she regrets it. He doesn't wait for the universe to bring her back just to reject her. He simply keeps going, not for her, not for revenge, but because he understands one thing. His past is no longer his concern. And when a man reaches that point, that's when he becomes unforgettable. She might not show it, but she'll feel it. She'll remember the way you once looked at her, how it made her feel, wanted, secure, important. And then she'll realize no one looks at her like that anymore. She'll replay moments in her head. She'll compare every man she meets to you. And every time she sees you, whether in person or from a distance, she'll feel a deep, sinking regret. Not just because she lost you, but because she lost the opportunity to ever have you again. Because here is the truth. A man who doesn't look back is a man she can never get back. And nothing haunts a woman more than that. She will move on, and life will go on. But no matter where she goes, no matter who she's with, one thought will always linger. What if I had done things differently? But by then, you'll be too far ahead to even notice. If you're done waiting for apologies that will never come, if you're ready to be the man who never looks back, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I do not chase. I do not wait. I move forward. Number 9. The Stoic Mindset. From heartbroken to untouchable. Pain is a weapon if you know how to use it. Most men let it break them. They drown in regret, waste time chasing closure, or worse, they wait hoping she'll return. Nope, that's not how a Stoic moves. That's not how a man reclaims his power. A Stoic understands one thing above all: control what you can, accept what you can't, and never waste energy on anything outside of your reach. She left? Good. That means you've been freed. Freed from illusion, freed from the comfort that made you weak, freed from someone who didn't see your worth. You didn't lose her. She lost you. And the moment you truly embrace that, the moment you stop wishing things were different, that's the moment you become untouchable. No woman, no rejection, no moment from your past will ever shake you again. Because the man who masters himself can never be controlled by someone else. This is what separates the average man from the great one. The average man waits, hopes, and begs for a different outcome. The great man adapts. He doesn't just survive, he evolves. He turns pain into progress, silence into strength, and absence into power. And when a man reaches that level, he stops chasing. He stops explaining. He stops looking back, not out of bitterness, not out of spite, but because he simply doesn't care anymore. This is your moment, not to win her back, not to make her jealous, but to rise so high that nothing from your past can touch you. If you're ready to leave behind the man who was broken, if you're ready to become untouchable, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I own my mind. I own my future. I own my power. Now listen carefully, because this is the part most men miss. This journey you're on, it's not about her. It was never about her. She was just the catalyst, the wake-up call, the moment that forced you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? And more importantly, who do I want to become? If you've made it this far, you already know the answer. You're not the man who waits. You're not the man who begs. You're not the man who lets the past define him. You are the man who moves forward. No more second-guessing. No more wondering what could have been. No more giving your energy to someone who walked away. Because from this moment on, you are your only priority. This is your time to rebuild, to evolve, to become so unshakable, so complete within yourself that nothing, not rejection, not loss, not even your own emotions, can break you. And that is what will haunt her forever. Not because you tried to make her regret it, but because you didn't have to. If you're ready to step into your power, if you're ready to leave behind the man you used to be, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I do not look back. I only move forward. And remember, a man who never looks back is a man who is never forgotten.